न अस्ति विद्या समो बंधु, न अस्ति विद्या समम सृहत, न अस्ति विद्या समम वृत्तम, न अस्ति विद्या समम सुखम। विद्या जैसा बंधु नहीं, विद्या जैसा मित्र नहीं, और विद्या जैसा अन्य कोई धन या सुख नहीं। Good morning, one and all. I, Richa Mohnani, take immense pleasure to begin this beautiful day with all of you, the scholastic educators. Let us start the day on a propitious note with lighting the lamp. I would request the CEO of Parisar Asha, Ms. Aarti Sahur, to kindly escort our guests of honor, the renowned personality Mr. SHEKHAR Suman, and the Deputy Commissioner, Thane Municipal Corporation, Mr. Manish Joshi, for the lamp lighting. I would also like to request our event sponsor and founding partner of L2O, Mr. Girish Bhaku, along with our trustees, Mr. Eugene Paris and Mr. Siddharth Desai, to please join them. The lamp lighting would be followed by an invocation song by Ms. Mukta Sathe and Ms. Uma Bolangri.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो.
I kindly request you to please come on stage. I would request Ms. Aarti Sahur to please felicitate our guest of honor. So please. I would request you to please.
Good morning, all of you. It's not often in our business that we end up saying good morning. It's always good evening, because we always have late night shows and we have late evening shows. And I don't remember the last time I ever came for a morning function. We are dysfunctional in the morning, so, it's only by afternoon that we get to see the world and understand what's going on around us. First and foremost, you'll have to excuse me, I'm a bit under the weather, so I'm going to be brief and terse. Before I begin, I would like to thank very especially Mrs. Kiran Datta and Mrs. Aarti Sahu for inviting me and making me a part of their beautiful dream and endeavor. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big hand, a big, big hand. And I'm sure all of you could do a little better by smiling and clapping louder. Always sets the ball rolling. Or always feel that if you're a little more enthusiastic towards people who are addressing you or there, even if you have to pretend and act like actors, you could do so, and you know, it doesn't require much of an effort. Uh, and I always say this whenever I'm performing anywhere. The Indians have this strange habit of not applauding you or clapping you. You know, I mean, unless it's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, then everybody is going Modi, Modi, Modi. But otherwise, they just tend to look at you and not react. So you really don't know whether they are liking what you're doing, or they are angry, or they want you to get the hell out of that place. So you have to always request them to please clap. And I say, Indian audiences are always so disciplined. If you don't implore, if you don't request, they won't clap. Let's hear you clap for 20 seconds. That's it. See, it sounds so beautiful. It just sounds so good. You know, when you clap, you're not applauding me. You're applauding each other. We are creating a beautiful, positive atmosphere where we hold hands and we stand for each other. And I said, you know, one for all and all for one. So it's a beautiful feeling when you are there. We haven't met each other before, but, you know, when you clap or when you smile, it seems that, you know, we are there for you. And it's a great feeling to be, you know, to have that feeling of warmth and love and affection by people, even unknown to you, because, you know, there's always a first time and you get to know people. I had very specially requested not to give such a long, drawn CV and an introduction, because, you know, it sounds sort of vain, glorious to have such a long introduction. And I think if you just had to say, ladies and gentlemen, presenting actor SHEKHAR SUMAN, it would have been enough for me, and I would be very happy. It's quite embarrassing to hear things what you have done and just go on and on. I think standing right here, I'm here for a very, very noble cause. That's all I know. And it would be audacious on my part to teach or tell anything to educators and educationists, or to erudite people, or to teachers. I wouldn't have the temerity or the audacity to kind of stand here and tell you what to do, because I'm sure that you are far too mature and intelligent than I am to be told what to do and what not to do. But what Parisar Asha stands for, and before I move on, I must make a very special mention of Joshi Sahab, who has taken out his very precious time to be and be a part of this ceremony, and make it more all the more interesting and all the more important. So a big hand for him, ladies and gentlemen, a big, big hand for him. I almost fainted when I heard his schedules. I mean, he's managing about 6 departments, and I said, how do you do that? How really do you do that? Because, it's not humanly possible to look after so many things with so many people with myriad responsibilities. How do you manage? And he said a very beautiful thing. He said, I get up in the morning, I take out my diary, I make a note of all the things that I do, and by night, I make sure they're all bloody done. So, that's the way, should be the conviction, and that should be the resolution, and that's the way to do a thing. Unless you don't decide that I have to do it, and I have to do it at any cost, come what may.
you will probably will have a lackadaisical attitude towards it and says, maybe I'll, leave it for tomorrow or some other day or some other time. But even when he delegates authority, he does it with a lot of conviction and a lot of authority, and he sees to it that the job is done. So kudos to you, sirs, for looking after all of us. And I think in your own very special way, um, you're contributing in such a big way to the society in such a vast manner. Having said that, now let's come back to Parisar Asha. And as it says that it's a center for educational research and training. I mean, it's a very esoteric subject that you're dealing with. All I know that on the surface level, what I do understand, and for any common person that I need to understand, that education is and will always remain the most vital thing in our lives. I think it's the most important thing. If you are educated, that's your biggest strength. Then you don't have to worry about anything in this world. You can stand anywhere and says, I'm educated and I know about everything, and I can talk about everything. I can understand everything, whether it comes to life or when it comes to society or it comes to any other thing. I'm educated. And I think, when we were starting out, we were always told by our parents that, in our life's hierarchy, it's always the teachers who come first, even before parents, because they make you what you are. So sitting right here, I would bow before all of you because you're doing such a great service to mankind and humanity. And I think you're such wonderful people. I think all of us from different walks of life, wherever we have reached and achieved anything in any manner, is all thanks to our teachers. If they did not invest that kind of time and passion and imagination and love into what they were doing, we would not be standing here, talking to each other. We would not be here sort of very happy in what we are doing. And I owe a lot to my teachers. They taught me to discover myself, discover my latent talent, discover whosoever I am. It is very important to understand who you are. And education is the first step towards that. And when I say education, I'm not talking about just a pile of books. That's unfortunate that we have come to a time when there's some people who think that education is like as many books that you read, or education is just going to school, or education is just going to college. Education is a lot more than just cramming what's asked of you, or what you read in books, or what just teachers tell you to do that. It's a lot more than that, and that requires personal effort. And all the teachers around the world, they help you do that. And so I guess that we have to understand what education actually means. And when you talk about the soul in education, I often sort of asked myself when I was studying in school and college that, what am I doing with these books? And I think just a few days ago, I was sitting with my mom and I said, you sent me to the best school, best college, etc. But, there are a lot of things that I was, acquainted with right then, which I was told to do specifically because it was mandatory. I don't think that is useful today or relevant today, I mean, as an actor, I don't see how my chemistry lessons are helping me now, except when it says that, oh, he has a beautiful chemistry with this actress, or so I don't know how physics is helping me or maths is helping me. I mean, I wish that there was more emphasis on vocational training, and I probably studied the art of acting right from beginning and invested much more into something that I was proficient at, instead of just wasting my time doing something which I think, I may be wrong, which is not relevant to me today. I mean, everybody has like different interests, right? So for teachers, it's very important to kind of lead the students on a path which is meant specifically for them, and not just teach everyone just everything. So education, when we begin in our early lives, in our early childhood, education first and foremost, why do we go to school? I mean, there's something that all of that we are learning in school is something that we can learn at home as well. We can buy books, our parents can teach, or we can hire tutors and they can teach us. Why do we go to school? We go to school because um, school gives you, provides you an environment which is academic. So you go into an academic atmosphere and an ambience where everybody has come with the same purpose of learning, acquiring knowledge. So then it is the discipline, it is the mindset that we are setting for ourselves. And then everybody just sit and concentrate and learn, learn, learn. But there's also has to be a process of unlearning. I think what we don't pay emphasis on is we just learn. We don't unlearn. We have to also unlearn a lot of stuff in our lives. You know, we have to throw off these extra baggages, offload them, and just keep things that are relevant to us. And it could vary from individual to individual, from person to person. So, you know, as I said, I want to be an actor, or I wanted to be an actor. So for me, the path is going to be a lot different for somebody who wants to be an engineer, or somebody who wants to be a writer, or somebody you know, who wants to be a doctor. Because his path is going to be a lot different from my path. Now the teachers, I think, is their responsibility to find out and discover these latent talents among students and tell them, this is what you're good at, this is what you should be doing. And not just cram up things and, you know, sit for exams and take your exams, and, you know, either you do good or you are average, and you are happy that, you know, at the end of the year you're getting a report card. And I feel the teacher's responsibility is not merely at the sound of the bell to come into the classroom and start teaching. Okay, it's the first period, then the second, the third, fourth, then you have recess, then blah, 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 and then bye-bye. Teachers are not meant for that. Teachers are there who are making a future for you, who are creating a new world for you. Your job is not, I'm here, I'm a teacher, and I teach, and I take my salary, and I go home, and I have a lot of domestic problems, so I really don't care a damn about what the students are doing after school, and I don't even know them by their first name, but I'm teaching them. I'm just doing my job. You have to understand that you are in a very, very special place. You are so fortunate that God made you teachers. Of course, and I mean it. We can't talk to God, I mean, we can imagine. But in the absence of God, who do we have? We have teachers who tell us all the most beautiful things of life, all the most beautiful things that we learn. So it's a great responsibility, it's an onus on you to create a future for all the beautiful people who are just about to bloom and prosper. So your job is to look, as Aarti was saying, to look for that soul. Now, as you said, it's an intangible thing. You cannot imagine, or you cannot define what soul is all about. But I think that soul is something that is beyond the physicality and the mentality and everything else. It's a very special spot. It's a very special place. When you say soul, I think I would interpret that as, when I say soul, I would think it is honesty. I think it is the honesty within us, that I'm honest to myself. I'm honest in what I'm saying. I'm honest in the way I interact. I'm honest in the way I look into your eyes. I am honest in the way I hug you. I'm honest in the way I say I love you. That honesty is the soul. When we talk about our small voice, when we talk about our conscience, that honesty is very, very important. Even if you are dishonest, be honest about that. I'm dishonest and I'm honest. I'm honest about that, that I'm dishonest. I'll appreciate that person a lot more than somebody who's just sort of have layers and layers of masks and you never get to know the real person. We're talking about these masks. And we have all this facade. We are wearing so many masks. You never know what the real person, who the real person is. You don't know because there's so many masks and you keep taking it out and it's like a never-ending layer. Unless you come out and say, this is me. Now that's honesty. And say, this is me. And this is the way I am. Take it or leave it. And everybody is not perfect. And everybody is not, at their peak or at the best or, but they have to be honest and willing to learn. That willingness is very, very important. I'm willing to learn. That yearning for that knowledge, that thirst for that knowledge, I want to learn. And I guess that teachers have to inculcate that emotion, that feeling among students. You must always forever be a learner. You're never complete as a person. You're always learning. Till you die, you're still learning. You're learning about yourself. You're learning about your relationships. You're learning about the various equations that you have in the society. You're learning about your contribution. You're learning about why you were born. This is a quest. And this is a never-ending journey. And it all leads to how much do you want to learn? How much do you want to question? How much do you want to know? And teachers are there to help us, wade through this confusion, if we have any. To tell us, look, this is right and this is wrong. And even beyond that, the rights and the wrongs. This is what you should be doing. I think this is what you should be doing. This is what you should be saying. And this is the way you should be thinking. So we are all here. I mean, this is a very vast subject, and I can go on, and all of us can go on and talk about this. It will remain a debate all our lives, and so many times it happens that when you say, I don't quite agree with you. Fair enough. Don't agree with me, and that's what human minds are all about. We don't have to be always on the same page. I mean, I can be diametrically different and opposite to you, and still be the most beautiful person in your life, because we don't think alike, but I respect you for what you are and who you are. So that's very important, that everybody doesn't have to be the same page to like each other. Even with, when we talk about marriage, what is marriage? Marriage is compatibility. Marriage is two different people who could be imperfect, perfect, etc., coming together in a space where each one of them have like a different set of ideas, different thoughts, a different persona, a different everything, and yet they are this union, this coming together. It is for life, and you are so happy. Why? Because I respect you for who you are, what you are. So that respect, that honesty in that relationship is so important. So coming back to education, again, I think, whether it is relationship, whether it is in acting, whether it is, constructing a building or being a surgeon or being a lawyer, I think that honesty is very important. Very, very important. And we all need to be very honest. Look, we are moved into a world which is now, I'm really sorry to say, but it's something that is giving all of us the jitters. We are not living in the same world where I was a kid, that we just heard about our beautiful relationships and our relatives, our friends, our neighbors, our teachers. Every day when you open the newspaper, there is some goddamn crap news about everyone, I mean, including teachers, and they're horrible news. I mean, I don't even need to spell it out, because they're so horrible. They're hideous. They're heinous crimes that are being committed. And all of them, we have become so, we are unfortunately living in a very consumeristic society where everybody wants to be better than the next person. I want to have like a bigger house, a bigger car, a bigger profession, a bigger salary, a bigger everything. I wish people had the question, I want to have a bigger knowledge than you. I want to be more educated. I want to think more than anybody else. I want to write better. I want to create better. We need to be very, very positive. We are now living in a very negative, vitiated world. And we need to express ourselves every day. As she said, have you said Happy New Year to each other? And even if we had, probably we never meant it. Then again, that honesty I'm talking about. Because, while you're shaking hands, you're not even looking into the eye. It's something which is just, just as a social function or a mandatory thing that you are supposed to say Happy New Year, so you're saying it. It has to come from here. Human being is nothing but just heart. Because mind plays games. And it can mislead you. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Always. That's the soul that I'm talking about. Your heart is your soul. Your heart is your honesty. Your heart actually is your mind. So listen to him, that person within you. There is a person within you. So teachers, as I said, I won't be audacious enough to tell you what to do. I think you are there in a very responsible place in society, responsible position. You know what you are doing. You have to just do it better. Or you have to be more immersed in what you are doing and not just take it as a job. And then get away from those mundane routines of just teaching one class after another, one period after another, and just said, okay, now, all right, 2016 batch, next. We are not assembly line productions. We are people. We are human beings. We think, and we need to be told, and you're the best people to tell us, and all of us. So thank you, all of you, teachers, very, very much, once again, for being there for all of us and for the world and for the society. And I'm sure with these endeavors, and thank you once again, all of you, for making me a part of this very beautiful dream and the endeavors that you have set out on. And I'm sure in time to come that I would be far more educated. Even the next time when I come, I have learned a thing or two from teachers, from professors, from educationists, from educators, and everyone. And then I can proudly say, this is a beautiful world, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Thank you so much.
I would request everyone to please have some refreshments which are out.
Environment is not just your social environment. So we work with the schools and provide, we provide this complete holistic education. We support the schools. We are working with BMC schools also, with TMC schools also. We work with private sector also.
So these people who have come, these are more of BMC, TMC teachers?
They are all private and BMC and TMC. All are there. Basically, they are all school principals, educators. So today morning we had a wonderful session where we are touching upon soul in education. And now we will be actually having this award ceremony for the especially, if you are gracing the occasion, where for past 3-4 months we have been, calling for nominations.
हम सब यहाँ पर परिसर आशा के मौके पर एजुकेशन की बातें हमने मॉर्निंग में हमने बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल सेशन को देखा. आप भी यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट हैं. सबसे पहले जानते हैं क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप इसके बारे में और क्या फील करते हैं आप सभी यहाँ पर.
परिसर आशा के आज इस प्रोग्राम पे मैं आई हूँ. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू बी हियर. आरती जी ने ये ऑर्गेनाइज किया है विद द थीम सोल इन एजुकेशन. गवर्नमेंट का इनिशिएटिव रहा है राइट टू एजुकेशन. परिसर आशा ने इसको एक स्टेप फर्दर लिया है विथ राइट टू राइट एजुकेशन. तो इट इज़ अ वेरी गुड इनिशिएटिव एंड आजकल जैसे हम देखते होंगे कि सिलेबस इतना वास्ट होता है, इतना उसमें मेमोराइजिंग पे भार डाला जाता है कि जो एक्चुअल लर्निंग है, प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग, बोल्ड लर्निंग, अबाउट लाइफ लर्निंग, वो कहीं पीछे रह जाता है. तो स्टूडेंट इज़ मोर इनटू मगिंग अप. उसकी क्रिएटिविटी कहीं ना कहीं छुप जाती है, और क्रिएटिविटी इज़ द मेन एसेंस जिससे आप अच्छे साइंटिस्ट तैयार कर सकते हैं, आप अच्छे आर्टिस्ट तैयार कर सकते हैं. तो अगर आप हमको ये लोग ज़्यादा तादाद में अपने देश में चाहिए, तो वी हैव टू बूस्ट क्रिएटिविटी. और क्रिएटिविटी अगर आना है तो उसके लिए एक मेन क्रिएटिविटी के लिए मेन फैक्टर है कि द टीचर्स, द स्टाइल ऑफ एजुकेशन अदर देन सिलेबस, ये पूरा रिवैम्प होना चाहिए. और उसके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि परिसर आशा जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस और इवन द गवर्नमेंट लुक्स इनटू इट कि एक ह्यूज चेंज आए करिकुलर में, जिसमें स्टूडेंट अपना पैशन या अपनी क्रिएटिविटी ज़िंदा रख पाए, और उससे हम जीनियस जो पैदा कर सकते हैं वो इसी रीज़न से पैदा हो सकते हैं.
एंड आरती जी, हमने देखा कि मॉर्निंग से इवेंट चल रहा है, तो कैसा रहा आज का एक्सपीरियंस ओवरऑल? अमृता जी भी यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट
नहीं, इनफैक्ट आप अच्छी तरह से बता पाएंगे क्योंकि आपने विटनेस किया है
जी,
वो.
हमने देखा
या बहुत ही सी बिकॉज हमारा उद्देश्य जो था, मुझे लगता है कि काफ़ी हद तक सफल हो चुका है. क्योंकि जो एक्सपीरियंस हम लोग देना चाहते थे हमारे एजुकेटर्स को कि यू जस्ट कांट बी मैकेनिकल, आप एकदम मशीन की तरह आप नहीं रह सकते. आपको कहीं ना कहीं वो जो ह्यूमन टच आपको देना है, सोल से कनेक्ट करना है, बच्चों के साथ कनेक्ट करना है, अपने सोसाइटी के साथ कनेक्ट करना है. उसके साथ में जैसे मैडम ने बताया कि क्रिएटिविटी विच इज़ एक्चुअली डाइंग अनफॉर्चुनेटली, क्योंकि सब लोग इतने पीछे पड़े रहते कि मेरा सिलेबस ख़त्म हो जाए तो, और ये रट्टा मारो, एग्ज़ाम दो, पास हो जाओ, अच्छा जॉब मिले, बस यही सबकी महत्वाकांक्षा रहती है. बट उसी में हम लोग देखते हैं कि बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि लोग खुश नहीं रहते. जो कुछ भी वो करते हैं ज़िंदगी में उसमें उन्हें खुशी मिलनी चाहिए. तो क्या ये खुशी हम लोग बचपन से बच्चों को ट्रेन कर सकेंगे कि किस तरह से दैट चाइल्ड विल बी हैप्पी इन व्हाट ही इज़ डूइंग. सो दिस इज़ आवर एंटायर, आई थिंक आज का जो हमारा जर्नी रहा है सुबह से लेके अब तक का. तो कहीं ना कहीं या आई एम श्योर हमने उनके जो सोल को टच किया होगा हमारे एजुकेटर्स के, एंड आई थिंक दैट विल बी द सक्सेस ऑफ आवर प्रोग्राम फॉर टुडे.
मॅम, शिक्षणाचा आत्मा सोल एज्युकेशन आज परिषद भरवण्यात आली आहे. ही विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी आणि शिक्षकांसाठी किती महत्त्वाची आहे आणि काय सांगाल या परिषदेत?
आज परिसर आशा यांनी सोल इन एज्युकेशन हा प्रोग्राम घेतलेला आहे, आणि हा खूप रेलेव्हंट आहे आजच्या जमान्यासाठी. सरकार आहे आपली ती राईट टू एज्युकेशनसाठी इनिशिएटिव्स घेते. ही त्याच्या पुढची स्टेप आहे, राईट टू राईट एज्युकेशन. जो आपला अभ्यास आहे तो फक्त भक्कमपट्टी नाही आहे, त्याच्यात आपल्याला क्रिएटिव्हिटी जिवंत ठेवणं जरुरी आहे. कारण फक्त एक्झाम पास करून, सिलेबस क्लिअर करून जॉब्सला लागणं आणि फॅक्टरीसारखे प्रोडक्ट्स प्रोड्यूस करणं, हे स्कूल्स, ही जिम्मेदारी स्कूल्सची नाही आहे. त्यांनी युनिक स्टुडंट्स क्रिएट केले पाहिजे, जे आपले हुनर ओळखतील, जे कॉन्फिडंट सिटिझन असतील, जे आपल्या देशासाठी सायंटिस्ट होऊ शकतील, जे आपल्या देशासाठी उच्च प्रकारचे आर्टिस्ट होऊ शकतील. आणि हे मुठ्ठीभर नाही, आपल्याला करोडोंच्या देशमध्ये करोडोच पाहिजे. तर असं पाहिजे तर आपल्याला एज्युकेशन सिस्टमची क्वालिटी खूप इम्प्रूव्ह करावी लागेल. सिलेबस बेस्ड आणि मेमरी बेस्ड एज्युकेशनपासनं सोसायटी बेस्ड एज्युकेशन आणि पर्सनल ग्रूमिंग बेस्ड एज्युकेशन हे जास्त पाहिजे असं मला वाटतं.
पेरेंट्स को लेकर क्या आप अप्रोचेस रखते हैं, उनसे आप किस तरह बातें करते हैं बच्चों को लेकर, किस तरह उनका भविष्य होना चाहिए? और
मुझे पूछ रहे आप? ओके. पालकों की तो बहुत ज़्यादा जिम्मेदारी होती है क्योंकि बच्चे स्कूल में सिर्फ 5, 6, 7 घंटे तक ही रहते हैं, बट सारा समय वो घर पे बिताते हैं, अपने परिवार के साथ बिताते हैं. इनफैक्ट यहाँ पे मैं मेंशन करना चाहूँगी कि परिसर आशा हमारी संस्था ने पिछले साल से एक यूनिक प्रोजेक्ट चालू किया है जिसमें हम लोग फ्री पेरेंटिंग काउंसलिंग करते हैं. इट्स अ फ्री पेरेंटिंग हेल्पलाइन जो हमने स्टार्ट किया है कोई भी पालक किसी भी समस्या बच्चों को लेके जो कुछ भी उनकी समस्या है, उनके शिक्षा के हिसाब से या फिर उनका सोशल बिहेवियर है, उनका इमोशनल कोई प्रॉब्लम है, तो वो हमें कॉल करते हैं और फ़ोन पे हम लोग काउंसलिंग करते हैं उनको। बिकॉज व्हाट वी रियलाइज कि बच्चों को काउंसलिंग करना बात की बात है, सबसे पहले उनके जो प्रॉब्लम क्रिएटर्स हैं वो आजकल ज़्यादातर ऐसा देखा जाता है कि वो पालक ही है, वहीं से वो प्रॉब्लम की जड़ निकलती है, क्योंकि उनके बिहेवियर में कहीं ना कहीं वो मिस लाइक होता है कि जो उसका इफ़ेक्ट हम लोग देखते हैं वो बच्चों के ऊपर देखते हैं। तो इसके लिए इट्स वर्किंग वेरी ब्यूटीफुली। ये जो पेरेंटिंग काउंसलिंग हम लोग करते हैं, बहुत बार तो पेरेंट्स खुद चल के आते हैं, मतलब ये एक्चुअली हमारा टेलीफोनिक काउंसलिंग है, बट बाद में बहुत बार ऐसे वॉक इन्स आते हैं पेरेंट्स की, नहीं हमें काउंसलिंग की ज़रूरत है।
मैम आपने कहा कि राइट टू राइट एजुकेशन है, अभी राइट एजुकेशन अगर बात की जाए, चूज़ करने की बात की जाए, तो पेरेंट्स सबसे ज़्यादा जिम्मेदार होते हैं चीज़ों के लिए। तो आपको नहीं लगता कि इस तरह का जो मैम बता रही है इनिशिएटिव लेवल, नेशनल लेवल पर होना चाहिए?
Educating the parents also. Yes, yes, yes. It has to be there. It has to be there. कैसे होगा ये? Through media. You will be the main channels for this. NGOs. इसमें government personally it can give inputs, but parents have to realize, like girl child, educating a girl child और female infanticide feticide ना हो, इस पे rules बन सकते हैं, पर finally it's a mindset change. सिमिलरली फॉर एजुकेशन ऑल्सो पेरेंट्स का माइंडसेट होना चाहिए कि मेरा बच्चा किस तरीके का एजुकेशन करे। उनको ऑप्शंस दिया जा सकता है, बट नो वन कैन गिव देम रूल्स फॉर दिस, बट दैट इज़ पेरेंट्स टू रियलाइज़ कि आपको अपना बच्चा आगे जाके कैसा इंसान चाहिए, उस हिसाब से उन्होंने एजुकेशन जो उनको मिलने वाला है खुद स्टडी करके देन डिसीजन लेना चाहिए कि वेयर टू पुट योर चाइल्ड, वेयर योर चाइल्ड शुड बी, और सिलेबस में कैसे चेंजेस होने चाहिए. दिस शुड कम फ्रॉम पेरेंट्स, दिस शुड कम फ्रॉम एनजीओज लाइक दिस शुड कम फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ अस, फ्रॉम मीडिया. फिर चेंज आएगा.
एंड इसके अलावा अमृता जी, हमने देखा कि मिस्टर बच्चन के साथ में आपका कुछ एल्बम आने वाला है, हमने अखबारों में भी बहुत सारा पढ़ा, तो कैसा एक्सपीरियंस और कब तक आएगा और क्या कुछ होने वाला है, कुछ अगर आप बताना चाहें?
एक आध महीना और लगेगा उसको, एक आध 1.5 महीना, बट एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा था. और रेस्ट रिगार्डिंग दैट द कंपनी हैज़ आस्क्ड मी नॉट टू टॉक अबाउट इट, तो मैं इमीडिएटली बिफोर दिस लॉन्च मैं ज़रूर बात करना चाहूँगी.
मतलब एल्बम है हमेशा मानो?
एक सिंगल सॉन्ग.
मग तुम्ही एकदा मराठीमध्ये सांगू शकता परिषदेबद्दल?
परिसराबद्दल
परिषदेबद्दल माहिती.
आजची परिषद
हां, बरेच.
मराठीमध्ये आजची ही परिषद आम्ही मुद्दामून अशासाठी आयोजित केली की आम्हाला एक जाणवून आलं, गेले 34 वर्ष आमची ही संस्था शिक्षणाच्या क्षेत्रामध्ये कार्यरत आहे आणि आम्ही परिसरातनं शिकवतो, म्हणजे वी टीच ऑल द सब्जेक्ट्स. एक आपण परिसराच्या माध्यमातून आम्ही शिकवतो आणि इकडे परिसर हा फक्त आपला जो फिजिकल परिसर आहे, म्हणजे परिसर म्हटलं की आपल्या डोळ्यासमोर झाडं येतात, पाणी येतं, सेव्ह वॉटर, सेव्ह ट्रीज असे. तर आमचा जो परिसर आहे हा खूप मोठा आहे. ह्याच्यामध्ये तुमचा सोशल एन्व्हायरमेंट येतं, तुमचं स्पिरिच्युअल एन्व्हायरमेंट येतं, इमोशनल एन्व्हायरमेंट. कारण कितीतरी वेळा आपलं जे मनातलं वातावरण असतं, ते मनातलं वातावरण जर बरोबर नसेल तर म्हणजे त्या मुलाच्या वरती किंवा कोणताही तो जो माणूस असतो तो बरोबर पद्धतीने वागू शकत नाही. तर ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टींच्या थ्रू आम्ही मुलांना एक ॲक्टिव्हिटी बेस्ड लर्निंग, ज्याला आपण एक्सपिरियन्शियल लर्निंग म्हणतो, तर ती जी सिस्टीम आम्ही तयार केलेली, म्हणजे आमच्या ज्या फाउंडर डिरेक्टर लेट ग्लोरिया डिसूजा, तर त्या इमॅजिन 34 वर्षापूर्वी त्यांना ही सिस्टीम बदलायची होती, जी रोट लर्निंग सिस्टीम आहे. आणि आजपर्यंत आम्ही मोर दॅन 1000 शाळांमध्ये कामं केलेली आहेत. त्या शाळांचं कम्प्लीट आम्ही ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन केलेलं आहे, त्यांना सपोर्ट केलेले आहेत. ह्याच्यामध्ये आपले प्रायव्हेट शाळा आहेत, गव्हर्नमेंटच्या शाळा आहेत, ठाणे म्युन्सिपल कॉर्पोरेशन आहे, मुंबई म्युन्सिपल कॉर्पोरेशन आहे. विविध स्तरावरती आम्ही कामं केलेली आहेत, ट्रायबल स्कूल्सपासून इंटरनॅशनल स्कूलपर्यंत कामं केलेली आहेत. आणि त्यांना आम्ही सपोर्ट प्रोव्हाइड करतो टीचर्स ट्रेनिंगसाठी. आमची जी स्पेशल प्रणाली जी आहे, जी एन्व्हायरमेंट बेस्ड आहे, तर त्याच्यावरती आधारित आम्ही शिक्षकांना डिटेल लेसन प्लॅन्स लिहून देतो, म्हणजे द स्क्रिप्ट इज गिवन त्यांना. जेणेकरून मग असं नाही आम्ही म्हणत की शिक्षकांना काही येत नाही म्हणून आम्ही देतो, तर डेफिनेटली नाही, पण एक गाईडलाईन्स, कारण हे 34 वर्षाच्या रिसर्चवरती हे ते केलेलं असतं आणि एव्हरी इयर वी अपग्रेड. आम्ही शिक्षकांकडनं फीडबॅक घेतो आणि त्याच्याप्रमाणे आम्ही ती पद्धती आम्ही बदलत असतो. काळानुसार त्याची गरज पाहून त्यामध्ये नवीन नवीन आम्ही ॲड करत असतो. आणि ह्याच्याच बरोबर आम्ही त्या शाळेसाठी कम्प्लीट सपोर्ट प्रोव्हाइड करतो. आमचे जे एक्सपर्ट मेंटर्स आहेत, आमचे जे एक्सपर्ट टीचर्स आहेत, ते त्या शाळांना कम्प्लीट सहकार्य करतात. त्यांना क्लासरूममध्ये डेमो लेसन्स पण देतात, कशा पद्धतीने मुलांना इन्व्हॉल्व केलं गेलं पाहिजे, कारण हे संपूर्ण एक्सपिरियन्शियल लर्निंग आहे. कारण परिसर आशा बिलीव्स की आज तुम्ही ज्या पद्धतीचे माणूस आहात, कारण तुम्हाला त्या पद्धतीचा परिसर पर्यावरण मिळालेलं आहे. जर तुमच्या परिसरामध्ये खूप निगेटिव्हिटी असेल तर यू मे ऑल्सो रिफ्लेक्ट निगेटिव्हिटी. जर तुम्हाला अपॉर्च्युनिटीज मिळाल्या तुमच्या परिसरामध्ये तर डेफिनेटली तुम्ही यू कॅन रिअली गिव्ह बॅक टू द सोसायटी. तर ह्या पद्धतीवरती आमची परिसर आशा संस्था काम करते. आणि ह्या 34 वर्षामध्ये आम्हाला रिअलाईज झालं की आज प्रत्येकजण एक जॉब म्हणून बघतोय. म्हणजे इवन शिक्षकांचा जो पेशा आहे, सपोज टू बी, त्यांना आपण पूर्वी गुरु मानायचो, ते एक रोल मॉडेल होते, ते लीडर होते, मुलं त्यांना ब्लाइंडली फॉलो करायची. पण आज अनफॉर्च्युनेटली काय झालं की इट्स व्हेरी मेकॅनिकल, व्हेरी कमर्शियल. म्हणजे आज शिक्षण हे एक मोठं एक कमर्शियल क्षेत्र झालेलं आहे, बाजार झालेला आहे शिक्षणाचा. तर अशा वेळेला म्हणजे कुठेतरी आपण आपला आत्मा विसरलोय, आपलं सोल. म्हणजे आज जेव्हा आम्ही ॲक्टिव्हिटी घेतलेली या शिक्षकांच्या बरोबर, तेव्हा रिअलाईज झालं की खूपदा काय होतं की वी आर नॉट कनेक्टेड इवन विथ आवर सेल्फ. आज आपण स्वतःलाच विसरलेलो आहोत. तर शिक्षणामधला सोल म्हणजे आत्मा म्हणजे काय, तर इट इज व्हेरी रिलेटिव्ह कॉन्सेप्ट. शिक्षणामध्ये तुम्ही मुलगा, द चाइल्ड कॅन बी इन द सेंटर, तो एक आत्मा असू शकतो. आपले शिक्षक, ज्याला आपण सोल आपण म्हणू शकतो, कारण जर तुमचे शिक्षक आज तुम्ही विचार केला तर आपल्याला लहानपणी आयदर खूप चांगले शिक्षक आठवतात नाहीतर वाईट शिक्षक आठवतात. कोणाला सिलेबस आठवत नाही. कोणाला आठवतं का 8वीमध्ये मी मराठीमध्ये काय शिकलो किंवा गणितामध्ये काय शिकलो, कोणाला आठवत नाही. पण त्या 7वीचे शिक्षक मात्र नक्की आठवतात. म्हणजे आपल्यावरती इम्पॅक्ट करणारे हे शिक्षक आहेत. आणि जर ते शिक्षक कनेक्टेड असतील सोलशी, विथ पॅशनने शिकवतील, तर डेफिनेटली वी कॅन सी अ बेटर टुमॉरो. म्हणजे जे काही गव्हर्नमेंट आज करायला इच्छित आहे, पण त्याला आपले समाजाची सुद्धा त्याला जोड मिळायला पाहिजे. तर अशा वेळेला आय थिंक शिक्षक कॅन डेफिनेटली क्रिएट अ बेटर वर्ल्ड फॉर टुमॉरो. म्हणजे वी रिअली बिलीव्ह इन टीचर्स पॉवर.
सध्या किती शिक्षक या परिषदेसाठी उपस्थित आहेत?
आमच्याकडे रजिस्ट्रेशन 500च्या वर आले. आज सकाळी तर 500 होते, पण आय थिंक पोस्ट लंच मेनी ऑफ देम दे मस्ट हॅव मूव्ड आउट, बट स्टिल वी हैव अराउंड 400 पीपल प्रेजेंट ओवर देयर.
आरती जी, एक आखिरी सवाल, क्योंकि हम सभी जानते हैं अमिता जी यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है, वो बहुत ही सिंगर भी हैं. इन फ्यूचर इस परिसर आशा को लेकर कोई ऐसा न्यू सॉन्ग भी हम अमिता जी की आवाज़ में देखेंगे, या कोई ऐसा प्लान है, ऐसा कुछ? अमिता जी
नहीं, प्लान तो ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. मैं सोशल कॉजेज़ के लिए गाती आई हूँ और कभी रहा तो करेंगे.
इनफैक्ट हमारे परिसर आशा में हम लोग बहुत ये आर्ट का इंटीग्रेशन करते हैं. वी यूज़ म्यूजिक इन एजुकेशन, वी यूज़ थिएटर इन एजुकेशन, वी यूज़ आर्ट इन एजुकेशन. So it's a complete holistic approach. So definitely in future we can look forward to.
In fact, we can make the talented children sing.
Yes,
That would be better. I can mentor them for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can be an inspiration for them, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
भाऊ